year. The second part is the presentation of the two respective territories and initial talks about future mutual involvement and potential activity we can do together between the two territories. And the focus could be the cities of the future and the factory of the future. So I give the floor to the director of URES, Andrei Schick. Please.
Thank you, Diego, and hello to everyone. And okay, so just a few words about our organization. The Slovenian Regional Economic Union is an intercategorical association which has been operating since 1946 and assists over 1,200 companies and enjoys extensive experience in development and international cooperation. So we have strong links with the institutions and economic organization in Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, and other Central and Eastern European countries and the Balkans. So about the project. The aim of the project was to promote the protection of the natural and historical archaeological resources in the Adana region and to promote local development and the creation of micro-enterprises in the field of naturalistic tourism. So we intended to capitalize the results and the methodologies of two former projects, IT Initiative Turkey and AMAN cooperation projects, and to promote the growth on an eco-sustainable form of tourism. The province of Adana has an important potential to start a lasting local development, especially for micro-enterprises and social enterprises, exploiting the existing naturalistic, cultural and historical archaeological factors, which allow to carry out activities in the environmental tourism area. The project itself has been coordinated by the CKA Adana Development Agency in collaboration with the province of Adana. The plan of interventions has developed through some steps, so targeted training and qualification aimed at sector operators for the exchange of know-how, technical assistance activity aimed at the activation of local action tools to support entrepreneurial promotion, marketing, and the growth of local entrepreneurship, with the intervention to support the necessary organizational adaptations and improvement of the qualifications of services. The construction of equipped tourist environmental routes with related structural interventions, communication, advertising and territorial marketing activities aimed at supporting the development of the territory and giving maximum visibility to the project, including an educational program for young generations in order to promote specific awareness and consolidate the results of the project over time. And finally, exchanges and visit studies for the acquisition of common standards. So, among the tools that were activated for the achievement of the effective results is an IT tool, a desk point for the purpose of coordinating the implementation of the project, and an action plan for sustainable development. The CKA agency will propose tools to local administrations and the private system as guidelines for achieving the objectives. The direct beneficiaries of the interventions are local and regional administrations, the business realities of small businesses and services, the programmers of public administrations and private sector, youth organizations more directly involved in the development of new services and businesses. And if we talk about the indirect beneficiaries of the interventions, this is very wide and basically is falling into these target groups. So trade associations, those in environmental sector and cultural institutions, and the system of second-level educations. The expected results were increase in tourist visits, development of new businesses and related services, protection of environmental heritage, implementation of training modules, implementation of equipped tourist routes, development of activities and new services aimed at the development of the eco-sustainable tourism sector, educational actions for young people, and as we said before, establishment of desk point for technical assistance tools for supporting local entrepreneurship at the CTA agency premises. If we talk about the obtained outputs of the project, so the provincial tourists were sensitized in the visit to new naturalistic and historical archaeological itineraries, the Kozan historical and cultural route, the Karatas and Yumurtalik nature, history, extreme sports routes, and then new services and business plans. After the entrepreneurship courses, out of 15 initial ideas, 10 business plans were made, and 300 young people were involved in educational campaigns, and we have 10,000 information leaflets distributed. We have around 60 operators engaged in training activities.
Can we watch the number, Andrei? Because it's a little bit confusing. Too much information. If you share the screen, we see the numbers. It's
yes. I try to share the screen. Do you see it? We're talking of around 60 operators engaged in training activities, 50 contacts supervised by Investment Support Office, so contacts looking for coaching related to setting up of businesses and services, 3 marketing campaigns, and our aim was that of 24 subjects, destination places involved in the Sustainable Action Plan, and we actually managed 28 of them, and we managed to have 5 partnership meetings. And I have to say that despite the restrictions due to the COVID pandemic, all the results have been achieved, which is a reason for great satisfaction for the entire partnership. For us in particular, as an association of entrepreneurs based in Trieste, which is the most important European port for Turkey economy as a whole, the contacts developed with the subjects in the province of Adana, so the development agency itself, the province of Adana, and the chambers of commerce and industry are also very important as a side product of the project itself. So that's from me.
Thank you, Andrei. Stop sharing the screen.
Oh, I try to stop sharing the screen, but
okay.
Okay.
Good. So we go on. We saw that some of the main results were the realization of training activities to local beneficiaries through specialized courses done by the Cukurova Development Agency. Also, at the end of these courses, there was the creation of a number of business plans and a competition among them with prizes. I give the floor to Mr. Levent Selekoglu from the Development Agency.
Thank you, Diego. I have a PowerPoint presentation. Can I share my screen also?
Yeah, of course.
Can you see?
Yes, we see it.
Okay. Hello, dear participants. I am Levent Selekoğlu from Cukurova Development Agency. I work in the Investment Support Office. I would like to mention you, first of all, about my institution. Cukurova Development Agency is a governmental organization affiliated to the Ministry of Industry and Technology. It was established in 2006 as one of the 2 pilot agencies in Turkey. Our responsibility area covers 2 cities of Turkey, Adana and Mersin. They are located at the southern part of Turkey, at the Mediterranean region. The main purpose of Cukurova Development Agency is to accelerate social and economic development in Cukurova region. To reach our purpose, we use grant schemes as a tool. Since 2008, we supported 757 projects financially. We allocated 260 million Turkish lira for them. And in the project called Integrated Local Development and shortly SIL Turkey, we were one of the partners. We carried out 2 of the main activities of the project. One of them was entrepreneurship trainings in the field of tourism. Tourism sector has a potential in Adana. Actually, it is not very developed, but has a strong potential, especially in the kinds of history, culture, nature, and gastronomy. This project was a chance for us to contribute to the tourism sector by training entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs. To this end, we created a training program. It was including webinars, workshops, theoretical and practical trainings also. We started this training program with 3 webinars. Our intention was that we wanted to inform our participants about the agenda, up-to-date informations on tourism sector. Therefore, we chose webinar topics as digitalization in tourism sector, effects of COVID-19 pandemic on tourism, and destination management in tourism sector. Through these webinars, we reached 90 participants. And then we passed to the training program. The theoretical program took approximately 85 hours. It was a level-by-level program. It started from beginner level to the upper levels.
Levent, we just see the first page of your presentation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you may open up the presentation setting. So at the bottom, you can see like there is a pointer, you can press on it. Presentation.
Can I use it like this?
Okay. Yes, of course.
Okay. This was the first page I mentioned to my institution, and this is the second page. I mentioned to the webinars on digitalization, COVID-19 pandemic, and destination management. After these 3 webinars, we started to theoretical trainings. It took 84 hours. We taught them fundamentals of entrepreneurship at the beginning. And in the end, we reached 15 business models. And we were able to train 58 local entrepreneurs during this program. After theoretical trainings, the participants received mentorship service. It was 130 hours in total. The other activity under our responsibility was technical assistance activity and local development support. Under this activity, we established a desk point for entrepreneurs. The desk point was established within the Investment Support Office of Cukurova Development Agency. We already provide guidance to possible investors as Investment Support Office, and after establishment of this desk point, we now provide service to young entrepreneurs. They can come to our office and ask for guidance, for trainings, etc. And this desk point also works jointly with the Entrepreneurship Center of Adana. This center is located serving under Cukurova University. It is one of the two public universities in our city. Since the establishment of this desk point, we reached 50 candidate entrepreneurs. Another activity of the project we contributed was preparation of an action plan. After my speech, Ramazan will explain about tourism routes. The governorship of Adana created 2 tourism routes on natural and historical places, and we prepared an action plan on how to develop these tourism routes. We made analysis of needs and identified some actions explaining how to develop these tourism routes. These were our contribution to the project. I would like to thank to the Friuli Venezia Giulia at this point, because they gave us chance to cooperate with URES. We continue our cooperation since 2 years, 42 years. Diego, these were my contribution. I can now pass my turn to
Ramazan. Thank you, Levent. Now, if you can quit your presentation. Now the floor to Mr. Ramazan Gorgun, which is the coordinator of the Adana Governorship, the Department of EU and Foreign Relations Office. Please.
Thank you so much, Diego. And hello to everyone. And I would like to start by wishing everyone to healthy days, healthy months, and healthy years. My name is Ramazan, and I'm working in the EU and Foreign Relations Office of Adana Governorship. Actually, 2 levels of government are involved in the administration of the Adana province, the central and the provincial. Adana Governorship is the provincial branch of the central government. The central government in Ankara has the majority of the power in administration of the province through Adana Governorship. The province is divided into 15 districts, and each district is divided into municipalities and villages. And in this project, as Adana Governorship, we are directly responsible for 3 activities in the project. Firstly, determination of tourism routes. In this context, the Kozan History and Culture Tourism route, and the Karataş and Yumurtalık Nature Tourism route, nature, historical, and actually a few extreme sport tourism routes were prepared. We have completed the work on the and this missing direction and information sign on this routes. And we have determined 13 historical and cultural visit points on the Kozan History and Culture Tourism route. And on the other hand, I will check. Yes. On the Karataş and Yumurtalık route, we have determined 12 visiting points, and we work with the Provincial Directorate of Culture and Tourism, Adana Metropolitan Municipality, Kozan Municipality, Karataş and Yumurtalık municipalities on the determination of these routes. And in the next stage, we will continue our work with the institutions and relevant NGOs that I have just mentioned in accordance with the promotion and communication plan we have prepared within the scope of the project. I would like to say I'm at the meeting now.
Do you have a map on the two routes so that the guests can watch on the territory the itinerary?
Yes.
A file.
My laptop is broken, and I will try to share. For example, you can see to our one of routes, Kozan historical and culture tourism routes. I can say about these routes. Among these points, we have the. I also said we have determined 13 historical and cultural visit points in these routes. Among these points, it has been approved as cultural heritage by UNESCO. Anavarza, ancient city. On the other hand, Karataş and Yumurtalık nature tourism routes. We have a few natural point for visit and historical point. What will we do? Yes, on November 29, yesterday, we organized in an information and awareness raising seminar for young people. 270 young participants were involved in these activities. I think this is all I can say, and thank you for listening to me.
Okay, thank you. Ramazan, thank you for presentation of the two itineraries. If you can stop sharing the presentation. So as Adana governorship explained, two itineraries, an historical and cultural route called Kozan Historical and Cultural Route was developed, and also another route, Karataş and Yumurtalık Nature, History and Extreme Sports route was established. One goes up to the valleys and mountains, and the other one is along the sea. A very intense activity of involvement of young people was done by the Adana governorship, and also the project SIL, financed by Region Friuli Venezia Giulia, contributed to insert these new itineraries, these new routes, which were created with a bottom-up approach, so involving the local actors. And these two new routes have been inserted in the touristic plan of the region. Now I give the floor to Mr. Gregoretti. He will make a speech explaining of an interinstitutional protocol we want to create to give sustainability to the project with other projects. Then I will talk about later. And after his speech, we will show a video done during the initiative SIL Turkey about an exchange of good practices concerning sailing and gastronomy in the blue sector study visit we did. It was a virtual study visit. Please, Lucio.
Thank you. Mi scuso se parlerò in inglese, ma mi assisterà il Riccardo Damiani, che vi presento e che seguirà per l'istituto i prossimi progetti di cooperazione, in particolare in Turchia. Vuoi tradurre?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me here, and I'm sorry if I don't speak in English, and I present to you Riccardo Damiani, that I am, and a person that will follow for the
Progetti di cooperazione e sviluppo.
That will follow the cooperation projects for the development.
Presento rapidamente l'istituto. L'istituto opera dal 1999, è sorto nell'ambito dell'Università di Gorizia di Scienze Internazionali e Diplomatiche e si occupa prevalentemente di cooperazione allo sviluppo nel settore dello sviluppo locale e sta realizzando complessivamente una decina di progetti in questo periodo, prevalentemente nell'area di Algeria e Tunisia, costantemente, nell'area Israele-Palestina e con la collaborazione dei partner, Polo Tecnologico in particolare, nell'area della Turchia.
Yeah. I start with presenting the institute. The institute is born in 1999 in the University of Trieste, with the site of Gorizia, where there is the international relations and diplomatic science course. The institute is focused on the cooperation for the development of the local institutions, and now it's following around 10 programs focused in the Algeria and Tunisia area, the Israel and Palestine area, and with the support of the Polo Tecnologico di Pordenone in the Turkish area.
Chi mi ha preceduto ha spiegato ampiamente quelli che sono stati i contenuti, gli obiettivi, i risultati raggiunti, sicuramente in linea con quello che era il progetto e probabilmente anche più di quello che il progetto aveva immaginato di realizzare. io vorrei soffermarmi su 3 valori importanti di questa esperienza comune.
The speaker that have preceded me have illustrated the contents and the results of this project that for me has gone beyond the scope of the initial project as right, and I will concentrate on 3 values that are.
Sì, sicuramente il primo è la concretezza del lavoro che è stato svolto. La scelta dei temi e la individuazione delle azioni da svolgere sono state frutto di una presenza in loco assieme a Diego, nella quale quindi, come si dice, partendo dal basso nella costruzione assieme ai partner di quelli che erano un po' i bisogni e le possibilità di attuare delle iniziative utili al territorio. Quindi primo elemento che credo vada sottolineato, che non è abituale in tutti i progetti di cooperazione allo sviluppo, è quello della concretezza sia dell'impostazione delle attività ma anche dei risultati che sono stati raggiunti rispetto alla realtà di quel territorio, che ha delle potenzialità, come è stato anche molto ben illustrato, proprio nel campo che è stato analizzato dell'ambiente, dell'archeologia, del turismo, collegati alle risorse naturali di quel territorio. Puoi sintetizzare?
Sì. The first value that I will focus is the
According to Mr. Gregoretti, the project achieved results which are very concrete and effective, based on an assessment of needs started at local level through a mission that was done more than 2 years ago, before the application of the project. So according to him, there are some topics and sectors that we jointly developed through the project. So tourism, archaeology, nature, and empowerment of young people, creation of startups. And these results are very important for him. Thank you, Lucio. I would ask the colleagues from URES to launch the short video we prepared. It relates to one study visit we had to do in Italy, but because of COVID it wasn't possible. The request from Turkish partner was to impact some good practices on archaeology, gastronomy, and the blue growth sector. We focused on gastronomy and blue growth sector. Boru, please launch the.
Nautica e Gastronomia, ha visto al centro il progetto SIL Turchia destinato al capacity building nei paesi terzi, sviluppato da URES, Polo Tecnologico Alto Adriatico, Istituto EuroMediterraneo, Provincia di Adana e Agenzia di Sviluppo di Adana e Mersin.
Partendo da quelle che sono le risorse naturali e culturali del territorio, vogliamo promuovere lo sviluppo di imprese, start-up e imprese sociali del terzo settore per sviluppare percorsi di turismo ecosostenibile. Il progetto sviluppa 3 punti o 3 direzioni principali. La prima è la promozione dell'imprenditorialità, poi la seconda è il rafforzamento dei partenariati pubblici e privati nel turismo. con il comparto pubblico che agisse come agenzia di sviluppo e soggetto coordinatore delle istanze private all'interno di quello che è un master plan territoriale unico e condiviso. Il terzo punto è lo sviluppo delle competenze e delle risorse umane nel paese beneficiario, quindi la Turchia, per lo sviluppo economico del territorio, con l'attivazione di un Service Support Center per la formazione all'imprenditorialità. I giovani e le fasce svantaggiate vengono accompagnati in percorsi di coaching nella definizione di idee di imprese e start-up sui temi della gastronomia, della crescita blu e dell'archeologia. Il coaching si avvarrà di scambi di buone prassi con l'Italia e nello specifico con la Regione Friuli Venezia Giulia e con le sue reti di competenze.
Diana Battaggia, direttrice italiana UNIDO, ha posto l'accento sulle progettualità in corso di sviluppo, legate alla crescita blu e orientate alla sinergia transnazionale.
Noi nutriamo una profonda convinzione che promuovere le opportunità di collaborazione e il trasferimento di investimenti e know-how in campo imprenditoriale sia fondamentale, non solo per il miglioramento delle tecniche produttive, ma anche per la diffusione di tecnologie innovative su scala globale in vari settori, incluso quello della Blue Economy. In questo senso, nell'ambito del progetto Innovation Bridge, stiamo lavorando insieme al Polo Alto Adriatico e ad altri enti regionali come l'OGS alla realizzazione del Blue Innovation Hub. Nei 2 giorni di questo evento, che si terrà ad Expo Dubai, inizieremo a ottobre e per i successivi 6 mesi, vedremo la partecipazione di rappresentanti di piccole e medie imprese selezionati ed esperti di innovazione tecnologica provenienti dall'Italia, dagli Emirati Arabi, ma non solo, con l'obiettivo di esplorare nuove prospettive e progettare insieme soluzioni concrete. Questo progetto si propone di creare un network di innovatori regionali, nazionali, internazionali, provenienti da industrie e istituti di ricerca in ambito tecnologico, sia pubblici che privati, favorendo un po' l'incontro tra il mondo del business e quello della ricerca. Il progetto consentirà di valorizzare e convogliare diverse esperienze e competenze, facilitando così la realizzazione di soluzioni condivise a sfide comuni, fra cui quelle legate all'inquinamento del nostro pianeta, in particolare dei mari e degli oceani.
L'Istituto EuroMediterraneo è un'organizzazione che si occupa di cooperazione allo sviluppo da molti anni nell'area mediterranea e quindi in particolare anche nei confronti della Turchia, della Tunisia, dell'Israele, Palestina, quindi di vari paesi dell'area mediterranea. Il nostro scopo è quello di rafforzare le relazioni economiche, gli scambi. Il porto di Trieste è uno dei punti centrali dei traffici nel Mediterraneo, in particolare con la Turchia, e quindi affiancare attraverso la cooperazione e lo sviluppo la messa in contatto con le imprese, la messa a contatto con le realtà produttive e con gli istituti di ricerca, e fare in modo che poi questi contatti, queste relazioni portino a concrete azioni nel campo economico, nel campo sociale, piuttosto che nel campo della formazione. Questo è i principali compiti dell'istituto. È sorto presso l'Università di Trieste e quindi con una funzione molto di ricerca, però negli ultimi anni si è specializzato proprio nella cooperazione e lo sviluppo, quindi nel realizzare progetti che poi hanno la loro realizzazione nei paesi mediterranei, nel settore del turismo, nel settore della formazione, nel settore dello scambio del know-how. Questi sono i campi principali di azione dell'istituto.
L'evento, ospitato nella cornice della Marina Dorica di Ancona, ha passato in rassegna importanti best practice relative alla Blue Economy, come il Museo della Cantieristica di Monfalcone, la startup innovativa Trieste IS e le esperienze dei progetti Interreg, Framesport ed Ecomap.
Progetto Ecomap, rete delle città portuali intelligenti, città portuali che affrontano percorsi di innovazione e trasferimento tecnologico sul blu, con un occhio alla sostenibilità e alla progettazione partecipata dal basso.
Con la splendida vista del porto turistico Marina Dorica alle mie spalle, un invito a tutti i diportisti italiani a venirci a trovare, a venire a scoprire le bellezze della Riviera del Conero.
Il Polo Tecnologico Alto Adriatico oggi inizia un percorso di focalizzazione su un'economia blu, la blue economy, il blue growth, che non è naturalmente contraddittorio, è l'attenzione alla natura, è l'attenzione a come si può sviluppare un'economia sana, perché a me piace dire che il futuro è già oggi, non equamente distribuito. Grazie alla tecnologia il Polo Tecnologico vuole accelerare la distribuzione e l'equalizzazione della tecnologia per un mondo migliore. Seguiteci in questa via del blu, di un'economia in crescita e di un'economia buona.
Benissimo, grazie. Adesso io termino la prima sessione di questo incontro.
Switch in English.
Thank you. Now it's the time to close this first session with my speech. I share the screen. Summarizing results and sustainability of this project with cross-fertilization activities with other initiatives. The important thing we achieved is the creation of 15 business plans, so potential new economic activities, and the establishment of 2 itineraries, the Kozan Historical and Cultural Route and the Karataş and Yumurtalik Nature Historic Extreme Sport Route. We believe that projects are successful if they find a way to find sustainability with future networks and a new partnership. The Kozan Historical and Cultural Routes will probably get new sustainability through another project that has been financed by the European Civil Society Dialogue. It's the project Adana's Forgotten Food and Culture, which involves a number of Turkish partners, the Taurus Mountain Federation, which is the lead partner, the Cukurova University, the Italian Association of Journalists and its company, the Secretariat, WIGWAM, and associate like Culture and Tourism Directorate of Adana, Cukurova Chefs Association, Kinali LL Women Movement, Museum Directorate of Adana, Adana Chamber of Commerce, and Municipality of Kozan. This project deals with places which were inserted in the SIL project route, and the focus is on tourism and gastronomy. The project will continue for 1 more year. The other routes probably will find sustainability through the contamination with another new Law 19 project called INTUCLEB, Integrated Intervention Plan for Sustainable Development and for Implementation of Maritime Coastal Cluster Activities and Development of Policies in the Blue Growth Sector. This project will start in the next months and will end until end of 2024. Sorry, end of 2023. The partners are URES, the Technology Park of Alto Adriatico, EuroMediterranian Institute, Lega Coop, Friuli Venezia Giulia through the NGO Shoreline, Cukurova Development Agency, the Adana Governorate, and the Association of Scientific Technology and Culture of Black Sea. And the focus is the southern route, the sea and natural resources route. The focus will be on blue growth. In the next weeks, we will try to involve these networks to finalize a protocol of cooperation for granting sustainability to the SIL project. It's in our vision, it's important that the activities somehow continue and somehow find a fertile involvement of local stakeholders. I close the session 1 and I take the opportunity to explain Region Friuli Venezia Giulia that with these two partners, Governorate of Adana and Cukurova Development Agency, we found in the years very affordable partners, and they never hesitated to involve their local stakeholders and shareholders to apply for project proposals and to implement activities, even in the short time and in the short run. So thank you for this big cooperation and attitude to developing external relation with Friuli Venezia Giulia. Recently, we were guests of these two Turkish partners, and we were introduced to another topic, which is more related to industry, technology transfer, and the future we want to achieve. So how we want to transform our cities, what are the factories of the future. There is a lot of bibliography in Europe, and the system of Friuli Venezia Giulia is among those actors in the top of the list at European level. Adana, we discovered that also the Adana province is an Adana city counts 1,800,000 citizens, so it's a big reality, is running to the same direction, and through its Chamber of Industry is realizing an important competence center focused on the factory of the future technologies. This introductory part is to give the floor to the next speakers. So Region Friuli Venezia Giulia, which we want near to us to develop future opportunities of promoting the innovation system of Friuli Venezia Giulia and our partners, like, for example, EuroMediterranian, which assists us and assisted the technology parks of Friuli Venezia Giulia in applying for a technology transfer and technical assistance to Turkish ministries. Then Silvia Finizio will explain, and also Mr. Yunus Yetkin from the EuroMediterranian office in Ankara. The other speaker will be Marco Livotto from Lean Experience Factory, which is probably the best case and the best practice we can bring to the attention of our Turkish partner. We wish that this initial and short meeting could bring another deeper online meeting with the Chamber of Industry in the next weeks, so that we enter in the details of what we intend, like factory of the future, about enabling technologies, because some of the cooperation activities we had in the past were focused on traditional sectors like tourism, for example, but we could also improve the capacity of workers, of those workers which are needed to the industry, which is an important part of the economy in Italy. Please, I give the floor to the Region Friuli Venezia Giulia for an institutional greeting.
Thanks to all project partners, and so many information shared. Thank you very much. I'm in charge of the regional law 19/2000, so I will speak about this law, but I invite all partners also to the Italian partners, in particular the Slovenian Regional Economic Union, URES, and also the Upper Adriatic Technological Park, to have also stronger relations with other divisions of Friuli Venezia Giulia region, in particular with the research one, because there are a lot of funds coming in the near future. And I also thanks the development agency in Adana, the governorship of Adana, and so the Turkish partners. As already said, this project has been co-financed by the Regional Law 19/2000, and I'm very happy to see that the project has delivered some remarkable results despite the COVID-19 pandemic. And also I've seen many links with other projects financed, so we are very happy with that. And just a few words about our regional law on development cooperation and international partnership. So it has been more than 20 years since our region financed cooperation and development projects. The enforcement of this law has taken place by promoting international partnerships and co-financing projects for decentralized cooperation. And all these projects are being implemented either by regional institutions and by other regional actors, NGO associations, local authorities, private sector representative, etc. And all benefit of co-financing according to the provision of this law. As a result, considering just the last 7 years, our region co-financed more than 200 projects of a total budget of more than 10 million euro. So it's public financing, and in my opinion is very remarkable. So the region, now let's talk a little bit about our program. So it defined 4 priorities aligned to common principle of decentralization, coordination and coherence. The first one is human rights, democracy and good governance. The second one, inclusive and sustainable growth from human development. The third one, it tackled the challenges posed by security, fragility and transition. And the fourth one, the right not to migrate. I want just to recall the local to local cooperation approach, as we have seen, contributes also to the achievement of the 2030 agenda of the United Nations for Sustainable Development. I would like also here to give you a little spoiler of our future activities. In the view of our regional the next regional cooperation program, we set up a collaboration with the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, and we will start now in December a regional project to increase the quality and the impact of the international partnership and cooperation, given the key role that this approach can play in building more resilient communities. So with this collaboration with the OECD, we want to capitalize our experience to assess all the cooperation project financed, and to draw policy indication for the next future. We will also like to increase the visibility of all the projects financed by the region, and to set up more effective communication tools. And so thanks again for the invitation, and also for these reasons it's important for us to be today here and to see the project results explained by all the partners. To conclude, I hope that I will be I am able to express the commitment of Friuli Venezia Giulia region, and in particular my office, the Office of International Relations. And so we look forward to receiving other project proposals in the near future. We know that another project will start soon. So please keep us update with all the project results and deliverables also in the near future. And thank you very much, and have a nice continuation of the conference.
Thank you, Ms. Spirito. I give the floor a couple of minutes to my colleague Eva. I guess before starting with the other important content, which is technology transfer, digitalization, and Industry 4.0, to make a short presentation of the characteristics of Region Friuli Venezia Giulia, especially for the governorate of Adana, so that we share the numbers of who we are. They told us, they then will tell us who they are, and we...
Yes.
Please,
yes.
Eva.
Thank you for giving me the floor. First of all, I would like to thank Mrs. Spirito for giving us a great explanation about the program, because this project became real and true thanks to the funding that we received by the region. So just a second, because probably I need to share this presentation. Okay, so I think you can see the screen very well. So the autonomous Friuli Venezia Giulia region, I think, is extremely important to underline and to present the overall framework of the region, and starting from the socioeconomic and cultural ecosystem. I would like to be very briefly on that, and I just want to present a few slides. I will pass through this initial slide because it is a kind of real simple representation of the region and the inhabitants and the area, and I would like to emphasize the real aspect that I think is really interesting to say, that the expenditure on culture and tourism at a national scale, the Friuli Venezia Giulia region has been the first Italian region in investing in this kind of sector. So I think it's really important to say. And I get all the information from the very recent report on macroeconomic trends in the Friuli Venezia region that has been published in November 2021. And as you can see from the graph, on your right side, it's possible to say also the provision trends in the 3-4 further years. So as you can see, it's possible. I'm sorry, but it's in Italian, so probably a translation is needed. So on the second one, it's possible to say that all the main sectors, so the production sector, are going to be really in a positive trend. So they are growing, and the provisions say that there will be an industrial and also a construction sector growing up. I would like to say that the region is one of the, together with the provinces, so Udine, Pordenone, and Trieste, Gorizia, are the most industrialized provinces in the interior Italy. So one of the main industrialized provinces. And by saying that, I would like to say that as the Upper Adriatic Technology Park is doing in his activity, we support the enterprises sector, and we support, of course, the innovative realities. And at regional scale, we have, as you can see in the map on your right side, that the only Italian region that is in green color, so strong innovation performance group, is only our region. So basically it's very well ranked in the top 10 of the Italian provinces and also region as the most innovative startup. So we have a really good number of startups which are in the innovative innovation sector, and we are really proud of that. So the other sector, I think I don't have enough time to present all the other aspect, but also regarding the project, is really important to emphasize our interest on investing in enterprises support and cooperating between each other, between local entities, and also constructing private and public sector partnerships, as also the previous speaker were saying before. Yes, so I think I can conclude on this kind of presentation, and thank you very much.
Now the floor to the Turkish partner to a short presentation of their territory. Quick numbers about dimension, where you are, sectors, please.
Okay, Diego. I am sharing my screen.
Yes, please.
Can you see now the pictures?
Yes, please. You can go on.
These are pictures from the city Adana. As you can see here, we have both urban and rural places. As I mentioned at the first stage of the meeting, Adana is located at the southern part of Turkey. It is the fifth crowded city in Turkey. It has 15 districts. The population of Adana is 2.2 million, and the weather is almost every time sunny in a year, 300 days. Adana's contribution to the gross domestic product of Turkey is around 72 billion Turkish liras, and gross domestic product per head is 32.5 thousand Turkish liras. Adana is the 8th city with the most employment rate, and its export volume is around 2 billion.
Levent, sorry if I interrupt you. Can you move on the 9th slide? You are talking about leading sector, right? So, but we are not able to see the proper slide on your screen. Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't know what is the problem for
No worries, it just happens sometimes.
Okay, this was the slide I was talking about. The export volume is around $2 billion, and the import volume is $2.3 billion. Now I would like to mention two leading sectors. According to the number of companies, the leading sectors are agriculture, food, textile, chemistry, and plastics. What we produce under these sectors, for example, in agricultural sector, we produce crop productions, fishery products, Under food sector, we have meat and meat products, grain meal products, animal feeds. We have textile fibers. Under chemistry, we have synthetic rubber and plastic raw materials, soap and detergents cleaning and polishing preparations, perfumes and toilet preparations, and plastic materials also. The markets for these leading sectors are: in agriculture, it is Iraq, Russia, Ukraine. In food sector, it is again Iraq, Syria, Poland, and Romania. The textile sector focuses on Spain, Bulgaria, Jordan. Chemistry focuses on China, Iraq, Azerbaijan. And plastic sector sells their products to Germany and Italy. At the right side, you see some investment topics. Cukurova Development Agency prepares some pre-feasibility reports under these leading sectors. We prepare them before any possible investor comes to us. When they come and ask us about possible investment areas, we share with them these pre-feasibility reports. My slides are enough, but I would like to show you a short movie of Adana explaining the investment area of our city. Please inform me if you cannot see.
It's okay.
City of Investment. An attractive market with wide hinterland. One of the most fertile plains in the world. First city where industrialization took place. Turkey's new attraction center. Qualified human resources, young and dynamic workforce. Regional Attraction Center in Health. integrated transport infrastructure. City of Festivals. Ongoing mega projects. Adana is looking for new investors with one-stop shop services.
Thank you for listening and watching.
Thank you, Levent. Ramazan, you want to say something, or we jump to the next speakers? We go on. I give the floor to Eurekna, Silvia and Yunus. They worked with Technology Park Alto Adriatico and Friuli Innovazione to promote our best capacities in the digitalization processes, policies. Please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting us to join this very interesting conference. My colleague Yunus Yetkin is also here. He is our man in Turkey, let's say. So very briefly about who Eurekna is. We are the daughter company of CNA Veneto, which is CNA is the biggest SME association in Italy. And we have been in business for more or less 30 years. We have been established at the beginning of the 90s when the European Commission needed organizations and consulting firms able to, let's say, promote private sector development in Central Eastern Europe. And since then, we evolved a lot. We have been working more or less everywhere in the world, including Turkey. And we have been doing, we have been operating in several sectors, not only private sector development. Compared to the project you have just described, just to mark a difference, I have to say that we are less in the business of presenting and promoting our own projects that then, you know, get financing from public funding, but we respond to international bids for services. And it is in this context that we started working in Turkey. It happened in 2014 when we started participating in the first bids launched by the Ministry of Industry and Technology. And we have been awarded quite a big project aimed at the establishment and operationalization of 3 business incubators in Tokat, Malatya, and Kastamonu. we established our permanent establishment in Turkey. So we are also a taxpayer in the country. Our experience has been very positive, so we have been successful in getting other contracts, mostly with the same Ministry of Industry and Technology. We have implemented the technical assistance for the enlargement of the VAN business incubator. These projects are more or less of 2 million euros size. And then we have been also implementing a project which aimed to develop a winter tourism corridor in Erzurum, Erzincan and Kars. So a lot of the topics that you touched earlier are very familiar to us, including in Turkey. We have also implemented a technical assistance project for the establishment of Şanlıurfa serial exchange and license warehouse. And we are now implementing three projects in Turkey, two as leaders and one as partners, and we are going to have a new one as partner as well. One is quite a big project with TÜBİTAK, GEPSI, which is about food innovation in the food sector, and it is targeting Kocaeli, Giresun, Gaziantep, and Şanlıurfa. And we are implementing, together with Friuli Innovazione, a support for Kahramanmaraş Gold and Jewelry Center and cluster. Our cooperation with Polo Alto Adriatico started when a couple of years ago we identified a project in Turkey which was about Industry 4.0 and the digitalization, broadly speaking. It was a project designed by BEYSAD, which is the Association of White Goods Suppliers in Turkey. They have been awarded the big financing for this project, which was aimed at establishing a competence center for 4.0. So we as EURECNA, what we do when we present our offers for implementing technical assistance project, we always look for somebody who has a sort of vertical experience in the given sector. And we realized that we had one of the strongest actors in Italy, if not the strongest one, close to us, and we know this player, and it was Polo Alto Adriatico. So we started discussing the possibility of cooperating to see if we could implement this project. We worked for more or less 1 year. Unfortunately, it didn't go well because we have not won the competition, but I think in the process we have put together quite a good team of Italian but also international experts in this sector, and we are willing to continue this cooperation that we have established with Polo, because particularly in Turkey, which is a country where, as I said, we have been working since 2014, and a country that with the CSOP program, which is managed by the Ministry of Industry and Technology, is heavily targeting digitalization and Industry 4.0 in the country. So we believe there is a lot of room for trying to do more work together with Polo, both responding to call for tenders that hopefully are going to be published in the next months, but also on different type of initiatives. EuroMediterranian is well established in the country, and as I said, we are managing 2 large TA projects, and I think that together with Polo we could do more. Maybe my colleague Yunus wants to add something.
Thank you, Silvia, and thank you very much, everyone, for inviting us this precious conference. Actually, Silvia has added, everything about EuroMediterranian in Turkey, but I would like to say that I am impressed about this project because I studied from the region. Actually, I was studying. I did my bachelor in Mersin, which is very close to Adana, and in the Cukurova Development Agency field. And I studied hospitality management, tourism management, and I also did the dissertation on hospitality management with digitalization and sustainable tourism management. So it's very interesting for me, the topic. As Silvia mentioned, we are very close to also the Cukurova region, since we also have our project office in Kahramanmaraş. And I mean, you still have 1 year to go on, and any support from our side as EuroMediterranian Turkey, we are happy to provide. Thank you again.
Thank you, Yunus. Thank you, Silvia. Now, you said you are willing to cooperate with us, with Polo, and with the Turkish partner, the other project we have, and I enlarged the action. I guess you're willing also to cooperate with the Lean Experience Factory. We have here the General Director, Mr. Olivotto. Lean Experience Factory is the best practice we have at regional level, and it represents the industrial, the technology and the trends on digitalization approaches of the whole region Friuli Venezia Giulia, but even more. Marco, you will explain who you are and what we could do together. I took the opportunity to insert these speakers in the today meeting because in a recent meeting done in Adana with the Levent and the Chamber of Industry, their particular request was that of creating an interface with our key actors in the digitalization processes and in the factory of the future. So today is quick, but I guess that in the next week we have an in-depth meeting talking in details about technicalities. Please, Marco.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you, Diego, for your introduction. I know that also we are a bit late, but I will be very quickly today, but I'm available during the next days or when you want to schedule another meeting in order to go deeper in this topic. I'm the general manager of LIF. I share with you a brief presentation of what we are. LEF is an acronym of Lean Experience Factory. Is a company established 10 years ago, exactly, by a joint venture between the trade association and a big consultancy company. Our focus was on operational processes. So we focus on the manufacturing side, but with a specific focus on the operations. Over the year, then we have grown, and now we are not anymore a model factory, but we have a model company. We had a big expansion that we opened the door during this last summer, and we established a new brand model company that covers all the different aspects of the value chain of a typical company. Our mission and our vision are these to specific aspects. So we want to help our customer through the training that we provide that are always based on put your hands on in the process that we have. And what we want is to support our customer to improve the performance of their processes. So we do not train about the specific technology, but we train about the increasing the performance of the different processes. For example, the manufacturing, or the quality control, or the scheduling, or the maintenance, or the performance management, because we are not focused on the technology, but we are focused on the process. And thanks to this focus, we can work with a different kind of sector, from the pharmaceutical, food, transformation foods and processes, mechanics, plastics, automotive sector, white goods, and so on. Here you can see a very, very brief timeline of our expansion and our story. So 2011, model factory, focus on the processes, assembly, and machinery process. Then we established the part regarding the model office, quality control lab, product development, and general R&D process, warehousing. And then on 2016, we started to invest in digital solution for manufacturing. After this start over of the investment, we, the shareholders, also the regional government, and different private partners, we put all this good intention together, and we decided to invest in this new model company that we like to think, but also we are pretty sure that is the biggest and the most integrated in the world. The biggest, not in terms of space that we occupy, but in terms of cases that we have along the value chain. So starting from the product development and ending to the after sales, go through the operation, human resources, corporate business function, sales, procurement, and so on. We cover the entire value chain with more than 150 use cases that explain how a transformation on organizational point of view and how the digital can help in order to increase the performance of a company. Okay, so our main businesses, our revenue streams are experiential training that we can provide here in loco, in the San Vito, is the northeast of Italy, close to Polo Alto Adriatico. We can provide in remote through digital connection, always maintaining the experiential experience. We can provide in loco to the client sites and so on. The second revenue stream is organization and digital consulting, so supporting the company in a transformation project. The third one is the validation of ideas from startups or other companies that need an external support in order to validate their solutions. A third stream that is not business, but for our purpose is very important, is to support the regional government in order to, let's say, explain to the future generation, specifically the students of secondary school and university, how can be a company of the future and how it looks like. So we host 1,000 students this year, 2,000 next year, and 3,000 during the third year. And we provide training to them, and we show to them how can look like the future companies where they probably goes to work in during the next 5 or 10 years. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marco.
You're welcome. Thank you.
If you can stop sharing the screen.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Perfect. So we are at the end of the session, and we got the chance to introduce us. L'event Ramazan, please let us know if we can continue introducing our core activities regarding training and development of expertise for entrepreneurs and digitalization processes, factory of the future. Let us know if it is possible to continue the speech we had in Adana a few weeks ago with the Chamber of Industry. We would be glad to bring you inside our premises. We will also be glad of hosting a future delegation coming to Friuli Venezia Giulia.
Okay, Diego, I think it's a good idea. First of all, I will talk with the Chamber of Commerce, Chamber of Industry of Adana. Then I think we can set a date for meeting.
Thanks a lot. We have a running project for the next months and years, so this is not a goodbye, but it's a see you soon. For those who haven't had, good lunch, and we keep each other posted. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.